Welcome to the Wake Up with Gratitude podcast and this special month of gratitude for November. We are halfway through sharing 30 ways to practice gratitude in 30 days. If you're joining us for the first time and would like to catch up, each episode is only 5 minutes long. What I recommend is to not try and do everything I'm suggesting at the same time. That would be far too much. Choose one or two things you've learned from the episodes so far and do your best to implement them on a daily basis. As we move into the last half of this month, we'll be talking about more ways to practice gratitude, and especially with a focus on American Thanksgiving. Stay tuned for a full-length episode with Sharon Saraga Walters all about how to practice gratitude all year long. It's easy if you'd like to join us for the rest of the month. Simply take a look at your podcast app and click on follow or subscribe to be notified when a new episode is ready to be listened to. Okay, let's get into today's gratitude practice. What I love about practicing gratitude is it's one of the easiest ways to bring us back into the present. Being in the present moment allows us to find joy and happiness wherever we are. Our problems don't exist when we're present in each moment. Today, we're going to learn how to use our senses to bring us into the present moment through gratitude. Today's exercise can be done with your eyes open or closed. So if you're in a safe place, I encourage you to settle in, take a few deep breaths, and close your eyes. First, we're going to think about things that we can be grateful for with our eyes. Now, if your eyes are closed, you're probably wondering how you can do this. What I invite you to do is to use your mind's eye and see things around the room that you are grateful for. Or even better, see people in your mind's eye and think about how you are grateful for them. You're going to think of 5 different things that you can see that you are grateful for. Take another deep breath. Now I want you to think about 4 different things that you can touch that you are grateful for. This is great when your eyes are closed. You can feel the material on the clothing that you are wearing, or perhaps the seat below you. You could even bring up a memory of something that you touch that reminds you of your childhood. For example, your favorite childhood blanket or stuffed animal. In what ways can you be grateful for things that you touch? Take another deep breath. Let's think about 3 things that we are grateful for that we can hear. When we have our eyes closed, our other senses are more in tune with what's going on around us. Can you hear the crackling of a wood stove? Or the birds outside your window? Or maybe voices in another room? Think of how you are grateful for all these things that you can hear while you're pausing quietly in this moment. Take another deep breath. Now let's think about 2 things that we are grateful for that we can smell. As you continue breathing deeply, ask yourself what different smells you notice in the air. Perhaps it's the smell of your partner's cologne, perfume, or deodorant. Or maybe the scent of your pet that's lying beside you. Or it could even be a scent memory, the smell of the kitchen when Thanksgiving dinner is being prepared, or when your favorite meal is being put on the table. What are 2 things that you smell that you can be grateful for? Take another deep breath. And finally, we're going to think of 1 thing we can taste and be grateful for it. Think about that favorite meal that was just put in front of you. Imagine taking your fork, picking up a bite, and placing it into your mouth and chewing it ever so slowly so that the flavors infuse your entire mouth and you can taste every single layer of flavor. What can you taste that you are grateful for? Take 1 last deep breath. And if your eyes were closed, you can open them again. This is a simple practice that can be repeated at any moment of your day, especially when you feel overwhelmed or stressed out. It's 5 things to be grateful for that you can see, 4 things to be grateful for that you can touch, 3 things to be grateful for that you can hear, 2 things to be grateful for that you can smell, and 1 thing to be grateful for that you can taste. We'll see you tomorrow, friends, for day 18 of our 30 ways to practice gratitude. This concludes today's gratitude practice. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you take a moment to implement something you've learned today. I have a favor to ask. Would you mind rating and reviewing this podcast? Doesn't matter which podcast app you're using, every reading helps other people to find this podcast and help them make their decision when choosing which podcast to listen to. I appreciate your support, friends, and I'm excited. I appreciate your support, friends, and thanks so much for taking the time to listen and rating the podcast. I'll be back tomorrow with another way to practice gratitude.